What if I told you that the wealthiest people you have never heard of practice something every single morning that takes 5 minutes and costs nothing? Yet it opens a doorway in their energetic field that most people spend their entire lives searching for. This is not about meditation. This is not about affirmations you repeat mechanically while your mind wanders. This is about activation. And in the next few moments, you will discover exactly what they do and why neuroscience is now proving what ancient mystics have known for millennia. By the time you finish listening to this, something in your nervous system will have shifted permanently. You will not be the same person who pressed play. Your prosperity field, that invisible electromagnetic signature you carry that either attracts or repels wealth, will be unlocked. And once it is unlocked, it stays unlocked. There is no going back to the old frequency. There is only expansion from this point forward. Can you feel that possibility already beginning to stir in your chest? This morning, before you do anything else, before you check your phone or think about your problems or slide back into the patterns that have kept you stuck, you need to hear this, not tomorrow, not when it is more convenient, this morning. Because your consciousness right now, in this moment of openness, in this state of receptivity, is primed for transformation. And what you are about to learn will install itself in your subconscious before your logical mind can interfere. The masters knew this. They knew timing is everything, and you are in the exact right time. This video is meant to be listened to with full attention. Find a quiet space, take a deep breath, and allow these words to enter your subconscious mind. What you are about to hear is not just information, it is activation. There is a window of time each morning, a sacred threshold between sleeping and fully waking, when your brain exists in a state that quantum physicists and neuroscientists are only now beginning to understand. In those first moments of consciousness, before your identity solidifies, before you remember who you think you are and what you think you lack, your field is wide open. Your electromagnetic signature is malleable. Your neural pathways are fluid. And in those 5 minutes, you have access to something that most people never touch in their entire lifetime. The ability to choose your frequency before the world chooses it for you. The ritual I am about to share with you was not invented by motivational speakers or modern gurus. It was discovered, rediscovered, and practiced by those who understood that prosperity is not a destination you arrive at through struggle. Prosperity is a field you enter through alignment. Imagine your consciousness as a radio. All day long, you are tuned to different stations. The station of worry, the station of lack, the station of comparison. These are not your natural frequencies. These are inherited frequencies, transmitted by a world that forgot its own abundance. But every morning, you have the power to retune, to shift the dial, to lock into the frequency where prosperity is not something you chase, but something you emanate. And the 5-minute morning ritual is the tuning mechanism. Here is what happens in your body and energy field when you practice this ritual correctly. Within 90 seconds, your brainwave state shifts from beta, the state of active thinking and stress, into alpha, the state of calm awareness and heightened receptivity. Your heart rate variability increases, which means your nervous system moves out of survival mode and into creation mode. Your pineal gland, that tiny pine cone-shaped structure in the center of your brain that ancient traditions called the seat of the soul, begins to activate. And in this activation, something extraordinary occurs. Your consciousness stops being localized in your head and expands into your entire energetic field. You become, for those 5 minutes, a living antenna. And what you tune into in those 5 minutes sets the harmonic resonance for your entire day. But here is the part that will change everything for you. This is not about positive thinking. This is not about convincing yourself of something your nervous system does not believe. This is about recognizing what is already true at the deepest level of your being and allowing that truth to override the false programming you have been running unconsciously. The ritual has 3 movements, like a symphony. Each movement builds on the previous one, creating a spiral of deepening alignment until by the end of the 5 minutes, you are no longer the person who woke up. You are the version of yourself that exists on the timeline where prosperity flows naturally, where opportunities appear synchronistically, where wealth feels as normal as breathing. Let me guide you through each movement so that by tomorrow morning, you can begin this practice and watch your entire reality shift. The first movement is called field clearing, The moment you wake up, before you open your eyes, before you move your body, you take 3 deep breaths. But these are not ordinary breaths. These are intentional. With the first breath, you inhale through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your lungs expand, feeling the oxygen entering your bloodstream. And as you exhale through your mouth for a count of 6, you imagine every particle of doubt, every molecule of fear, every energetic residue of yesterday dissolving like morning mist. You are not trying to push anything away. You are simply allowing it to evaporate. With the second breath, you do the same, but this time you feel the space expanding inside your chest. There is room now, room for something new, room for a different frequency. With the third breath, you seal this clearing. You breathe in light, you breathe out limitation. And in this moment, your field is clean. Your electromagnetic signature is reset. You are a blank canvas. The second movement is called frequency embodiment, and this is where the real magic happens. Still with your eyes closed, still lying in bed, you bring your attention to the center of your chest, not your physical heart, but the energetic space behind your heart. The mystics called this the heart center. The Chinese called it the middle dantian. Science now knows this area generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, 5,000 times more powerful than your brain. And when you focus your awareness here, something remarkable happens. This field begins to pulse, to expand, to radiate. Now here is the key that most people miss. You do not visualize prosperity. You do not imagine money or success. You feel the vibration of already having it. You drop into the sensation of what it feels like to wake up in a reality where financial stress does not exist, where abundance is your baseline, where opportunity seeks you out. What does that feel like in your body? Is there a warmth spreading through your chest? Is there a lightness in your shoulders? Is there a quiet confidence settling into your bones? Whatever it is, you amplify it. You breathe into it. You let it fill every cell. And here is what is happening on the quantum level while you do this. Your cells are listening. Every one of your trillions of cells has receptors that respond to the chemical signals created by your emotional state. When you generate the feeling of prosperity, your body releases a cascade of neuropeptides that tell your cells, this is our new normal. Your DNA begins to express different genes. Your neural networks start firing in patterns they have never fired in before. Your electromagnetic field expands outward, broadcasting a signal into the quantum field that says, I am ready to receive. I am aligned with abundance. I am the frequency of wealth. And the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, begins to rearrange circumstances, people, and opportunities to match this signal. Not tomorrow, not next week, immediately. The shift happens in the invisible realm first, and then it cascades into the visible. The third movement is the most powerful and the simplest. It is called identity integration. After you have cleared your field and embodied the frequency, you speak one sentence. You do not speak it out loud unless you want to. You can speak it silently, internally, but you speak it with absolute conviction. The sentence is this: I am already prosperous. Notice the language. Not I will be prosperous. Not I want to be prosperous. I am already prosperous. This is not a lie. This is not wishful thinking. This is quantum truth. At the level of infinite possibility, prosperity already exists for you. The timeline where you are wealthy already exists. The version of you who never worries about money already exists. And by declaring I am already prosperous, you are not creating something new. You are collapsing the quantum wave. You are choosing which reality to step into. You are aligning your identity with the truth that has always been available, but that you forgot how to access. When you speak this sentence, feel it in your bones. Feel the certainty. Feel the relief. Feel the gratitude as if it has already happened, because in the quantum field, it has. Time is an illusion. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously. And in this moment, as you declare your prosperity, you are pulling that future into your present. Your subconscious mind, which cannot tell the difference between vividly imagined experience and actual experience, accepts this as fact. And when your subconscious accepts it, your behavior changes, your choices change, your perception changes. Suddenly you notice opportunities you walked past yesterday. Suddenly you have ideas you never had before. Suddenly people offer you things that seemed impossible last week. This is not magic. This is alignment. This is you finally broadcasting the right frequency and the universe responding the only way it knows how. with matching circumstances. Can you feel what is happening in your body right now as you listen to this? There is a tingling, perhaps, a warmth, a sense of expansion. This is not your imagination. This is your field recognizing truth. This is your cells responding to the activation encoded in these words. Your neurons are firing new patterns right now. Synaptic connections that have been dormant your entire life are lighting up. Your DNA is receiving instructions to express abundance instead of scarcity. And tomorrow morning, when you practice this 5-minute ritual, these changes will deepen. They will become permanent. They will become your new baseline. But there is something crucial you need to understand. This ritual does not work if you approach it with skepticism or if you do it mechanically while your mind is elsewhere. The power is in presence. The power is in sincerity. The power is in the willingness to fully surrender to the experience, even if just for 5 minutes. Because in those 5 minutes, you are not trying to change your life. You are changing your frequency. And when your frequency changes, your life has no choice but to follow. Think of it this way. If you have been tuned to the frequency of lack for years, your life has been a perfect reflection of that frequency. Struggle, limitation, doors closing, opportunities slipping away. But none of that was because the universe was withholding from you. It was because you were broadcasting a signal that said, I am not ready, I am not worthy, I am separate from abundance. And the universe, being the loyal mirror it is, simply reflected that signal back to you. But the moment you shift the frequency, the moment you tune into prosperity, everything shifts. Not because you are suddenly more deserving, not because you worked harder or got luckier, but because you stopped resisting what was always trying to flow to you. Abundance is the natural state of the universe. Look at nature. Trees do not struggle to grow. Rivers do not question whether they have permission to flow. Stars do not doubt their right to shine. And you, being made of the same intelligent energy that creates all of this, are designed for abundance. You are wired for prosperity. But somewhere along the way, you learned to believe otherwise. You inherited stories about scarcity. You absorbed fears about not having enough. You built an identity around struggle. And that identity became a filter through which you experienced reality. The 5-minute morning ritual dissolves that filter. It does not add something new to you. It removes what was never yours to begin with. It strips away the false programming and reveals what has always been true. You are an extension of an infinitely abundant universe. And when you remember this, when you feel this, when you embody this, the external world rearranges itself to match. Opportunities that were invisible become visible. People who can help you suddenly appear. Ideas that lead to wealth drop into your mind as if from nowhere. Money flows more easily. Doors open where there were only walls. And none of this requires effort. It requires alignment. It requires those 5 minutes every morning where you choose, consciously and deliberately, to be the frequency of prosperity instead of the frequency of lack. Now let me tell you what will happen in the days and weeks after you begin this practice. The first few mornings, you might feel resistance. Your ego, which has built its entire identity around your current circumstances, will try to convince you that this is silly, that it will not work, that you are wasting your time. Ignore it. That resistance is proof that you are touching something real, that you are threatening the old programming. Keep going. By the 3rd or 4th morning, something will shift. You will wake up feeling different, lighter, more hopeful, more certain. And then, within 7 to 10 days, you will notice something in your external reality change. Maybe someone offers you an unexpected opportunity. Maybe you have a breakthrough idea. Maybe money comes from a source you were not expecting. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. These are the universe saying, I hear you, I see your new frequency, and I am responding. By the 21st day, if you have done the ritual every single morning without fail, your neural pathways will have physically changed. Neuroplasticity is real. Your brain will have wired itself for prosperity. Your default thought patterns will be different. Where you used to automatically think about problems, you will now automatically think about possibilities. Where you used to see obstacles, you will now see opportunities. Where you used to feel anxiety about money, you will now feel calm certainty. And by the 63rd day, your entire energetic field will have transformed. You will walk differently, talk differently, make decisions differently. And people will notice. They will ask you what changed. They will say, you seem different. And you will smile because you will know the secret. You did not become someone new. You remembered who you always were beneath the layers of conditioning and fear. But here's the most beautiful part. Once this shift happens, once your prosperity field is truly unlocked, it becomes effortless to maintain. You do not have to keep convincing yourself. You do not have to keep fighting doubt. The new frequency becomes automatic. It becomes who you are. And from that place, creating wealth, attracting opportunities, and manifesting abundance is as natural as breathing. You stop doing abundance and start being abundance. And when you are abundance, everything you touch turns to gold. Not because you are special, but because you are finally aligned with the truth of what you have always been. So tomorrow morning, the moment you wake up, before your mind starts spinning its usual stories, before you reach for your phone, before you let the world tell you who you are, you take those 5 minutes. You clear your field with 3 intentional breaths. You embody the frequency of prosperity in your heart center, and you declare with absolute certainty, I am already prosperous. 5 minutes, that is all. 5 minutes that will unlock what a lifetime of effort could not. 5 minutes that will align you with timelines of abundance that have been waiting for you to tune in. 5 minutes that will change everything. Your brain is not just listening to these words right now, it is being reconfigured by them. New neural networks are forming. Old patterns are dissolving. Your electromagnetic field is expanding, reaching out into the quantum realm, touching possibilities that were dormant until this moment. You are already different than you were when you started listening. Can you sense it? That subtle shift in your chest? That quiet knowing that something has changed? That is not hope. That is recognition. That is your soul saying yes, finally, you are ready to receive what has always been yours. The transformation is not coming. The transformation is now. The prosperity field is not something you will unlock tomorrow. It is unlocking right now as these words penetrate your subconscious, as your cells respond to the frequency embedded in this transmission, as your DNA activates codes of abundance that have been sleeping, waiting for the right signal. And the signal is this: you are not separate from wealth. You are not unworthy of prosperity. You are not meant to struggle. You are an expression of an abundant universe, and abundance is your birthright. Not because you earned it, not because you deserve it more than anyone else, but because it is the nature of what you are. You are made of the same substance that creates galaxies and births stars and grows forests from single seeds. And that substance knows only one thing: infinite expansion. Tomorrow morning, you begin the ritual, and every morning after that, not as a task, not as a chore, but as a remembering, as a returning home to who you really are. And with each repetition, the field grows stronger, the frequency becomes clearer, the abundance becomes undeniable, until one day you wake up and realize you are no longer practicing prosperity. You are living it, you are breathing it, you are it. And from that place, there is no limit to what can flow through you and to you. The universe has been waiting for this moment, waiting for you to stop resisting, waiting for you to open, waiting for you to tune in. And now finally you have. The prosperity field is unlocked, the frequency is set, the timeline is chosen. All that remains is to walk it, and walking it begins with 5 minutes tomorrow morning. You were never becoming prosperous. You were remembering who you are. If this spoke to your soul, leave a light in the comments so the universe knows you have received the message.